hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer.
What is going on, entertainment? So I'm coming out with another video today. We're talking Hollywood hot topics. Okay, first I wanted to get into, guys, Porsha confirmed the fact that she is returning to Housewives of Atlanta. I feel two ways about this. Y'all know I felt happy about it, of course, but if she is not going to come on this show and show us her real life, I'm gonna be mad. We need to see Simon. We need to see the mansion. We need to see the cars. We need to see Simon's family. We need to see a little bit of your family. The last time we saw Porsha was when she had her own show. And the mess that ensued was kind of crazy. So we want to pick off where they left off with that. That's what we really want to see. Because I really feel like that was the real Porsha. And that was the side that she was kind of scared for us to see. Because at one point, she low-key stopped promoting the show and felt like the show was being skewed negatively in her favor. Meanwhile, it was really just what was going on in her life at the time when she was with the hot dog man. So I really hope that we get that rawness from Porsha's life and not anything sort of skewed or sort of, patented up for the show. Because Kenya's going to call her out on it. And I better not be seeing her and Kenya arguing and fighting this season. Because that we're sick of. Now that I feel like if we see, I'm not interested. We've seen that multiple seasons with them going back and forth, them fighting. There's no point in us watching that over and over again. It's just not. Like, I don't think we're going to get that this season because I think they know better than that now because they don't want the fans to be irritated because really this season, if it doesn't hit, they're screwed. They're going to have to go to, table one with this because it's just not going to work out if we're going to see the same stuff that we saw seasons past with them fighting and scratching each other's eyes out. It looks like she was happy, though, because she commented, "Come on, Sweet 16, in regards to the 16th season. Now, she said that Porsha Guabadia is showing up, not Porsha for real, not the other Porsha, okay? Not Porsha Williams. Now, Guabadia, it's so crazy our last name. I know Fallon's somewhere sitting there like, just face scrounged up, wrinkles showing, because the fact that she's literally going to be watching her ex on television with a whole nother woman is kind of crazy and very triggering. Okay, so please do not watch Bravo Fallon. Turn off the whole channel. Better yet, call your cable company and let them know if you could block off promotions for Real Housewives of Atlanta throughout other cable networks because that really is triggering. Okay, now I'm excited for her to be back because it is going to give us a little bit of key. We all know Porsha's really good at her confessionals. I love people on reality television that give good confessionals, and Porsha's one of them. Okay, she's a mean girl. Like, she's a good mean girl. So confessional wise, she's gonna give us the looks. I still think that when it comes to women who have worn crowns to their reunion, she wins number one when she wore that purple in the crown, which was deserved. Okay, so shout out to Carlos. He sat down with LaQuisha Malaysia Pargo, and we found out a whole lot about LaQuisha Malaysia Pargo, which was interesting to say the least. All right. Now, when it comes to Malaysia, we never see her do interviews. I don't think I've ever seen Malaysia do a sit-down interview besides that one she did with the Breakfast Club, and Drea was there, and Drea had like no makeup on. It looked like she just got straight out of bed. That was like the last time I ever seen a Malaysia interview. I'm talking about this.
Wow. Your whole considered a hoe no more. Your wholeness can get deleted.
Okay, this is what I was referring to. That's like the last interview we see really of Malaysia sitting down. Now, she told us a lot more than I thought she was gonna say. She talked, of course, talking about her childhood and everything, how she grew up like bougie as a child, but still in the Compton, South Central streets. Okay, it didn't seem like she had to really do much as a kid, but I don't think she was spoiled or rich by any means because she did live up in Compton. She does proudly honor and fess up to that. But you could tell she was a little bit privileged and that she didn't have to super struggle because all her family was probably in it to win it, right? Now, we get to her being, a basketball wife. She talked about, how she was a stay-at-home mom and how she ran into, her BD, now her BD, 7 times before they actually got together. Like, I always thought that would happen in movies. Like, I'll be paying attention to stuff like that. Like, people you run into, sometimes it does be for a reason. So I do pay attention a little bit of stuff like that. So that was kind of nice to hear that something like that, which you hear in a fairy tale, actually came true. And she ended up, marrying her BD. All right. Now, of course, she was a stay-at-home mom before she got on Basketball Wives. And she said her son one day looked at her and said, Malaysia, said, Mom, why do you not bring the bread at home? My dad makes all the money. You just stay at home and do nothing. So he has the right in everything. He has the right to say anything or do anything he wants. You don't make any money. When are you going to go to work? Kids say the darndest thing. You should have popped that little boy. I couldn't believe she said her son said that. Mind you, she was a full-time stay-at-home mom. She was taking care of cooking, cleaning, doing all of the above while her dad's being an athlete. So she felt like, damn, like I feel like a little bit of a loser. So Brandy apparently, because her and Brandy go way back. I knew they went back, but not that back. So that kind of shocked me. I'm thinking they met probably during the course of her filming the show, but they knew each other before Basketball Wives even came about. So Brandy was telling her like, hey girl, like you should do this Basketball Wives. Brandy flew to Basketball Wives Miami to try to film it. Y'all remember when Brandy made her Basketball Wives Miami cameo with Rashida Ali, when Rashida Ali was trying to get on the VH1 shows? When she was selling them kitten heels and chancletas before she became a blogger. We remember that Rashida Ali. Rashida Ali did listen, before there was a Kenzie on that STV, there was a Rashida Ali. She did every profession. She was a shoe owner, a label manager, even a scammer. She did everything. So we find out that Brandy was like, hey, you should do this, you should do this. She wasn't too keen on doing it in regards to Basketball Wives LA, but she said one day she was like, hey, why not? So she ended up doing it. And one of her first scenes that she showed up, mind you, Brandy apparently got pregnant around that time, so she couldn't end up filming, and it just didn't end up working out for her. So it kind of tripped me out that she didn't end up on the show until season like 5. Mind you, Malaysia was on there seasons before. So that was why I thought that they didn't know each other until around like, filming a Basketball Wives type stuff, right? Now, the first thing she said she did, she showed up and she thought that Shawnee was going to come with her. I said, that was your first mistake, Malaysia. Believe in anything Shawnee tell you. And Shawnee apparently was like, oh, I can't make it. And it was a whole bunch of new girls. And she said before the girls that were there were some people that were going to be on the first season, including Melanie Fiona. I looked it up. Melanie Fiona, how was she going to be on the show when, from what I've seen, her BD, well, whoever she was with at the time, isn't even a basketball player. So I'm like, it just tripped me out. Like, I'm like, wait, what? Because she has a son with somebody named Jared Carter. So maybe she was dating a basketball player at the time, but imagine Melanie Fiona on there. She would have been singing, and it kills me. How much I really love you. Too much I want to. We would have got one of those. Maybe that might have been good, but it just didn't make any sense when she mentioned that. Now, she said when they started filming, like the first scenes or whatever, that we saw in the first episode, that those scenes were basically 4 months into filming. So before she came along, they had already been filming for like a couple months or whatever, right? And then we get into, of course, the legendary fight, the hood rat scene. Now, what? Okay, I learned something new today. I thought a hood rat was a girl who, be out here in the streets. She do be fucking. She be fucking, right? But she also be thumping. Like, she just be out here in the street. She an alley cat. Like, you feel me? Like, she might gang bang. You feel me? She might, get into a whole lot of fights throughout the week. I thought that was a hood rat. I didn't think it was just a girl who gets around in the hood. No wonder Malaysia had to pop her. Now look, now you had all rights to bring LaQuisha out. Not gonna lie, you had all rights to bring LaQuisha out, because I really thought in my mind a hood rat wasn't just a girl. I knew it was a girl who got around in the hood, but I thought it was a girl who got around in the hood who was a ghetto ass bitch who was always in drama fighting. I thought it was an encompassed in that term. I didn't think it was just a girl who just sleep around and give nookie. Cause y'all remember when Laura looked at Malaysia, she said, "Your name LaQuisha? See, I knew you was a rat." She said, "No, you're the rat." Oh, we'll never get good TV like that again. Now, what killed me is that she said that there was a lot more cut out in the fight than what we actually saw, which was a big shock to me, because from what it looked like we saw everything. Maybe they cut a little bit, but she made it seem like they cut out a whole chunk. And she said she did some things. She said she did some things that she wouldn't have got hired by Carlos. And I'm like, Malaysia had a blade. That's what it's giving. It's giving razor blade. Like, she had a blade on her body. Like, cut, like she maybe put out a blade, so I'm gonna cut you hoes or something like that to that effect. That's what it's given to me. That's what I get from the whole situation. Because she said the guy had a scar. So I'm guessing she probably tried to take the blade, and Malaysia accidentally cut him, allegedly. Malaysia, I ain't accusing you being no shanker, but that's the vibe that you were given. Sorry. Okay. Now, what's interesting is the months being cut out of filming. And I really feel like it's because of Tanya. Y'all remember Tanya? I feel like Tanya and some of the other ladies were probably not interesting enough for them to show that footage, because Tanya didn't play. Tanya was not about the low vibrational behavior. She did not play when it came to the drama in the fight. Like, she just was not with it. She didn't think what the girls was doing was becoming. Like, she didn't even want to be around them. So I think it was a lot to do with her. There was even an article that she did after she left the show and after the show had aired. She said, "I certainly don't miss the environment I exposed to while taping Basketball Wives. It was both toxic and controlling. Women were not allowed to communicate after shooting a scene. Women were chastised as if they were children. High-ranking executives would childishly ignore cast members on set, and producers would ice cast members from working when they wanted to garner more outrageous conduct from them. Despite the friendships portrayed on the screen, some producers purposely planted seeds of discord between the women and told outright lies, hoping that conflict and drama would ensue. Oftentimes, when I arrived at home, I immediately took a shower because I felt psychologically and emotionally dirty and disgusting from my day on set." Now, that's the words from Tanya, okay? So I think a lot of that was going on in a couple of months that we didn't see on the air from the show, okay? Also, what was interesting was that the fights being cut out, we needed an unaired version on VH1, an unaired episode of all the fights that y'all cut out. We need to see Jackie versus Brooke, Malaysia versus Laura, and even Erica versus Rennie Rucci. We need that, okay? So Brandy introduced her to the show, which is interesting, but we didn't get her to season 5, and then we get into Drea. Now, Carlos basically insinuates that Drea was sleeping with somebody's man on the cast. Now, there's always been rumors that Drea's son is allegedly Gilbert Arenas', which is lawyer Govan's baby father. So maybe that's what he was insinuating to, but it was a whole lot of allegedly said around that point in time. So we couldn't really get a distinct answer, but that's what I'm guessing he's referring to. Okay. Now we get into her marriage. This is why I got trust issues, because of stuff like her story. I'm sorry. Because this is why I pull away from relationships first. I'll be the first to block a nigga before you block me. Because it's like, I can't. You have kids with the nigga. You get married to the nigga, and then he treats you like crap. She says during Basketball Wives, she felt like they were sort of competing. And she felt like her spouse sort of became a little bit jealous of, her fame that she was getting. I'm like, basically, he was an op. That's what you're saying. That nigga was an op. You feel me? Because she said at one point they were golfing and some lady called him over and said, "Your wife is my favorite." Why wouldn't you want to be happy for your wife if a lady says that? Like, that's my whole thing. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It be trust issues for me, because it's like, you should be bigging up your woman, boy. Like, what the fuck? Apparently, they do not speak whatsoever, but they do co-parent as much as they can. From what it looks like he's not that great of a dad from what she described in that interview, which is very sad. And no wonder she was so sad and depressed. Thought the last couple of seasons of basketball is because she was over it. Okay? Her and Brandy still do not speak to this day, and she felt like she wasn't being gracious when it in regards to everything she was going through this season. I still feel like Brandy was doing the most during that season. I'm talking about loud and dramatic. I don't feel like Malaysia Pargo was in the wrong in that whole situation. Y'all see my recaps on it when it was airing. I feel like Brandy was mad that Malaysia was able to stay on the show for as long as she was and didn't get kicked off like she did. I think that was the main discourse in it. And not even that, she put her onto the show and she didn't even get on until later. So I think it was a lot of animosity when it comes to that whole situation. Okay? Now, you know Brandy's going to be somewhere Twitter and I'm surprised she already didn't before this video was made about this whole interview. Okay? Malaysia says she quit because she fasted and asked God for answers. And she felt like God was telling her, okay, this is going to be your last scene, when she had that denim jacket on and the girls was doing a pylon and it was telling her all their issues with her. And that's when she decided, she told the producer, like, hey, I ain't coming back after this scene. Like, y'all got me fucked up. Okay? And that was mostly the interview. The interview was really, really good. I really like the fact that we got to actually know her outside of some of the stuff that we know from the show, because Malaysia don't do interviews. If you go online, you see like no interviews of her, like at all. Okay, and she's on this new show called Bold and Bougie. Do y'all want me to recap to this Bold and Bougie show? The reason why I'm hesitant to recap to it has nothing to do with Carlos or anything. I'm not a fan of WeTV shows. They overhype everything on WeTV. It could be them faking. They could be them faking an argument and laughing, and they'll try to make it seem like it's gonna be a real fight. They'll be like, next week, Malaysia slaps the hell out of Jamie, and Jamie retaliates by slashing her tires. Next thing you know, she just cleaning off her tires because it got dirt in that bitch and dog poo, and all the Malaysia did was swipe the spit off of her cheek. So it's like, that's what I don't like about WeTV, because of the over dramaticness. And when we actually see the content, it's not what it was hyped to be. But I do like Malaysia, so I am going to check it out just to see. But if I get an overwhelming yes in the comments, I may recap it. Okay? All depends on y'all. Now let's get to Monique. I love us for real. Hi, my babies. Okay? Ugh. I don't like this. I'm sorry. Now, the Sun went live and basically talked about his experience with Monique, basically as a mom, and some of the stuff that she said in her interview with Mr. Shay Shay. I feel like he spoke very eloquently. Okay, I don't think the Sun's video warranted Monique's response video. He spoke with very high vernacular. He didn't say anything in deep detail about the relationship in regards to like storytelling, like Mr. Daddy did. Daddy, and I'm referring to Monique's husband. Okay? He could have went a lot more in detail about certain things that happened as when he was a child, and he didn't. At the end of the video, he even recognized that he appreciates her for bringing him into this world and that he wouldn't have his child without her. But I will say, when it comes to the Sun, I feel like the Sun wanted Monique to probably financially take care of him for longer than she's required to, and Daddy and her refused. That's what it's giving to me. It's giving he wanted them to, spend some point on him and him be like a grown-ass child a little bit. That's what I got from that whole situation. Now, I will say I agree with a lot of points that he made in regards to their relationship, because he says something that's so true. Why continue to pray for something if you're not willing to put effort into it? When I said, ooh, not gonna lie, he read her for Phil. That point hurt. It cut me, and it ain't got nothing to do with me. This whole situation is triggering because of my own stuff. Not gonna lie. So I don't even like this. But that's 100% right. You cannot continue to pray and cry if you're not gonna do anything. What's God gonna do? He can't physically move you. He can move things around and make your ass move, but he can't physically, make your two legs walk into the. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do some work too. Now, Monique's response video to me, I noticed a lot of things when it comes to this video. Daddy is not only very helpful to her, but he hurts her a lot too. He's a crutch. He does both a lot of negative and a whole lot of positive. Now, in this response video, of course, she starts out with, "Hi, my babies." Okay. Daddy is what irritated me the most throughout this video. I don't like how he went into such deep detailing with the storytelling about him purchasing a car for the boy when he was 30s. And by the way, that the son, you should be ashamed of yourself, because goddamn. Apparently, I believe he has mental issues, because the daddy says that in the video. Okay. But certain things like that, I feel like, Monique, you as being his mom, you shouldn't allow him to bring detailed information like that out in the media, especially if he does have some sort of mental issues, and not even that, you just not wanting to embarrass your own son. I'm just saying. Now, he was wrong for making that video and saying certain things that he did, don't get me wrong, but what he said wasn't no better either, because we didn't have to know that. Child, y'all lucky though, because baby, I bought my first car at 18. Okay, straight out of high school. I had me a Nissan Altima, okay, and spent about like 8 bands on it from my money, not one given from my mom and dad. Okay, I'm not saying they ain't take care of the kid, because they did, but I'm saying, like, I got that from my own hard work and finessing and busting my ass. Okay, not selling ass, and bought my first car at 18. The privilege the girlies have. I couldn't. When I heard that detail, I did gag, because that's crazy to me. Okay? That really is. Now, Monique should have checked him when he mentioned that. I didn't like that. I didn't think that was cute. I didn't think that was funny. Like, you shouldn't say certain stuff like that in regards to, like, your own blood son, like, out there in public like that. Like, that to me was crazy. Now, I do agree with what he had to say when it comes to Stephen A. Smith, because what he said was some sexist-ish. Talking about the light doesn't shine on her anymore, etc. Like, that gave Blue Man syndrome. Like, you got a personal vendetta against her. In regards to him not wanting to call him daddy, I understand that, because the dad is still alive. But Monique, you need to look at the fact that he wants to call another man daddy and not just his own. That means he's trying to fill a void, which is you. That's what I don't think she's getting from this. Okay? Of course, we get a whole lot of the repetitive stuff during the whole sit-down press video about Lee Daniels and the apology. Okay? And one thing I wanted to mention, what I didn't like, when he was talking, he said, you should be raising your child or son to be, your parents should be raising their kids or their son or whatever to be grown and etc. And he said parents should be raising their parents. He said it incorrectly, right? But I get what he was trying to say. Monique corrected him. The way he looked at Monique, I did not like that. That was giving me, I'm gonna slap you, bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up. Was that me, or did you guys get that too? There was a point in that video, if you guys watch it, she corrected him and he looked at her like, why are you talking out of turn, bitch? Red flag. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all, I noticed everything. The way he looked at her, I didn't like that look. Because he did say incorrectly, so he was correcting her so that way he would make sense. It's not like she was just interrupting him out of nowhere to say something. He was just correcting him. I'm just saying. Let me know if y'all noticed that, because I noticed that too. Okay? What I did agree with what Daddy had to say about ridicule and not being embarrassed to talk about your situation and talk publicly, because I think that if more of us do that, it would create a lot more of truth, because 2024 is the year of truth. Okay. and would expose a lot more things in the world that we're kind of scared to talk about. Okay. Now, Mo and Daddy says that they received death threats since the interview, and he later talks about the financial litigations that they're in with CBS, Tyler Perry, Oprah, etc. Now, I will agree with them on that fact because I think they do deserve more financial compensation when it regards to the Parkers. The Parkers was genius. It was chef's kiss. The fact that they got paid that little and they weren't offered more or given more is ridiculous. And the fact that it's still in syndication right now and playing all over the world is even more ridiculous. Constance Vaughn and her deserve that coin, like Monique or not, period. And the other cast members too. That's just what I think. I just don't think that they should have did this video. I really feel like a press release sort of would have been a more appropriate way in doing this. At the end of the day, that's still your son. That's still your son, Monique. Because to Daddy, that's his nephew. Not even stepson, which I'm like, why couldn't that be your stepson? You know what I mean? But she says that she's been calling, that's been his uncle since young. But, you know, I'm just saying, okay? Let me know what y'all think about that whole ordeal, because that's the talk of the town, okay? Let's get into Diamond. Y'all been sending me this video over and over and over as if this is some breaking news, as if we don't know Mr. Tilo is busting down these girls like hot Debbie cakes.
Now that's TV. He made a couple of passes or whatever. And I guess me feeling pressured because I was so excited about getting my show finalized. We were literally, the ink was dried. I was so excited about finally getting this show put out after spending so much of my own money and my time and so forth for season 1 that I did entertain it. I didn't sleep with them, but I entertained the gifts. I entertained the text messages, but once I put my foot down and basically didn't take it to the next level, that's when I started to see that now the pickup scenes are not being shot. Now production has been canceled now to the point where the whole season was shot. We're supposed to have 8 episodes and only 3 episodes came out.
Wait a minute. So is he like allegedly like hating because you didn't take it that far in a alleged relationship?
Allegedly.
Really?
Anytime he saw me with a certain person or any other guys, you know, it would be, oh, we're holding up on production, you know, or this happened, that happened, and so forth. So, and I'm not the only female. A lot of those other females on Now That's TV that has been cast members of multiple shows have been mistreated, getting one-way flights out if they're not entertaining certain allegedly sexual passes, or, you know, if things are not going the way in which he would like it to go, certain women allegedly. But this,
I know some people said that they don't believe her because her show didn't do that well. I believe her. Let me tell y'all why. I watch things very closely, especially when I was covering Now That's TV heavily, which I don't really do that anymore. I do, but not really. Like, subscribe to the Twitch. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, you can notice this because I noticed when it comes to some of the blogs, they didn't post. Because let's be real now, some of the blogs now are being paid by Now That's TV, such as Zeus. Because Zeus has 2 blogs that they pay to post certain things, right? So now does Now That's TV, because you could kind of see, because certain people they will post, certain people they will not post, of course. So I think due to some of the posts that were being made with Diamond Cuts, the girls weren't being pushed out there as much. You can tell that the girls, when it comes to Diamond Cuts, just the show in general, a lot of people weren't checking for it because it wasn't that entertaining. But just the way it was edited, just the way it was being packaged and promoted, I could tell it was some ill intent behind that whole situation. Okay? I could see this happening 100% also because of the put the pussy down. Put that pussy down. Y'all got to understand that Ferrari song is actually trolling Ferrari more than she knows, because I think she put that pussy down to get Young and Reckless, because they could have picked anybody as a host. Why Ferrari? It's not like everybody was raving Ferrari fans, if we really want to keep it a buck. So I do think she put that pussy down allegedly and got that show, and it's okay for them. Okay? Shout out to Diamond for having a little bit kuta herself and not wanting to sleep with the man in order to get some higher ranking in regards to the network. Because think about it. If this wasn't the case, why aren't the episodes not put out? If you go on the new app, last time I checked it, Diamond Cuts isn't even on there. None of the episodes are on there. The flyer or whatever, the graphic is up there, but there's not even an episode uploaded on the new app. So if it's no issue, drop all the episodes. It's because you're not effing with her. And y'all probably think, of course, now she's talking crap. But no, I'm talking about before then. We got 3 episodes and that's it. Why? If there's no issues. I'm just saying. I believe her. Why would I've never seen Diamond as somebody who just make up lies for no reason. I don't think she has any stake in lying about it, because if anything, it's gonna not, I wouldn't even say her, but all it brings is a little bit bad press to her than anything, because not like the network's that favorable anyway. So I'm just saying, I believe her. Okay, I believe her. Now, Shannon, you guys, apparently has made up with Mr. Epps. It looks like they had a talk behind the scenes. So he said, Unc and Michael Epps have decided to have a man-to-man conversation in Indy at NBA All-Star Weekend to discuss our differences. We both realized the situation should have been handled differently. I apologize to fans, friends, loves, ones, and my fans. Okay? Thank you to my fans. Thank you to my fans. Shannon does look like Anita. Oh my God. And also, I know I never talked about the whole Charles, your lunch is ready. That whole Miss Netta and Charles thing. I really feel like, in regards to those two, we are doing the community a disservice. Because all it is, we're just clowning a man who, in my opinion, is non-binary, is dating a man, another man, and because he's ugly, Miss Netta's no looker. Miss Netta's no looker. The fact that Miss Netta is not that attractive, that's why they're being pushed out there in the media, because it's showing the fact that a gay man, whether before, he had built a family, whatever, etc., Charles, who's not that unattractive, is attractive to Miss Netta, who's very unattractive. That's why they're pushing out there. They're pushing that couple out there in the media so much, because it's like a humiliation ritual, in my opinion. It's kind of sick to watch, to be honest. I don't get the hype around them. The song is a little bit funny. The MPs being together is a little bit funny, but I don't think they should be as glamorized as they are, because it's really a humiliation ritual more than anything. It's not like they're being embraced and honored in the community, in the LGBTQ community, for one, and two, just in the community, Black community in general. Everybody's laughing at them, not with them. Okay? That's just what I think. I feel with this whole Mike thing, though. Mike, bitch, you lied. You lied. You lied and got caught up, and you got mad that you lied. And that's just that on that. You lied. Okay? And you got caught out for lying, because he didn't contact you first. So my whole thing is, what was the point in doing that? Just to get a joke out of him? You could have just made a joke out of him without lying. I don't think he would have got that mad. Next thing I wanted to get into, and T-Pain. All right, so the girlies want T-Pain to be the halftime performer for 2025. I agree 100%. He deserves it. I feel as if he has a lot of hits that will be able to complete that 15-minute set. I want to hear Chopped and Screwed. You've officially been chopped and screwed. Chopped and screwed. I need to hear Chopped and Screwed. I want to hear 5 o'clock in the morning. I want to hear everything, okay? I think he deserves it. I also feel like he could bring Lil Wayne out on stage, because it would be in New Orleans in 2025. So I do think he'll be the right fit. I really don't think they're going to pick Lil Wayne, but that'll be another person I feel like is going to be a right fit too. Okay, let me know what you guys think down below. What do you guys think of the Suns live about Monique? Do you guys think Monique should have responded with Daddy in that video when she did? Leave your comments down below, and we're out, babies.
No personal thing.